New Zealand is reported to have one of the highest incidents of stress and anxiety disorders in the world. And two of the biggest causes of conflict in the workplace are stress and workload, which probably explains why New Zealand has such high levels of conflict in the workplace. Having worked in a number of countries, I can say with a great deal of confidence that the workplace in New Zealand can be brutal in terms of stress and the way it's managed. So how do we manage stress? How do we manage this conflict in the workplace? Well, the most important thing I can say, the first tip, is to acknowledge it exists, because far too many people try and brush it under the carpet, ignore conflict, hope it will go away, hope it will just even itself out and people will get over it. They don't. There's that simmering tension that can explode at any time. Now, there's a particularly horrible expression that comes from America called going postal. And what that refers to is that in the States in the 80s and 90s, there was a number of incidents in the post office service, where people were simmering with rage, suddenly snapped and went on a murdering rampage and murdered their colleagues. This wasn't just once or twice, this happened a number of times, so they call it going postal. Now, the management in the post service in America either ignored these simmering tensions that were building for so long, they either ignored it or were unaware of it. And if you do that, the consequences can be tragic. Now, in New Zealand, people might not go postal, but they can suffer from very bad health. The atmosphere in the workplace can become toxic, but the effect of this conflict, this boil, which isn't lanced, if you like, it can infect the whole place and ruin it for everybody, so it must be addressed. So the first tip is to acknowledge that it exists in the first place and then put in place a process to handle the conflict at source. Now, the most basic, or one of the most basic human needs, is the need to be understood and to understand. And one of the finest ways of understanding is to listen. Really listen to somebody. So to approach the person who is the creator or the cause of conflict, approach the person and talk to them and truly listen. With no judgment, to listen to them and to see it from their point of view. Because if people feel that you are seeing it from their point of view and they truly feel understood, that can diffuse the situation almost immediately. So listening is of critical importance. So if you manage a team or you manage people, you're part of a team, if you approach somebody and you're open and honest and you ask them what the issue is and you're prepared to listen without judgment, see things from their point of view and truly empathize with them, that can diffuse the situation immediately. When you build rapport with somebody, when they believe that you're on their side and you understand it from their point of view, it is incredibly powerful. That can diffuse it straight away. The tension will just dissipate. It is a fantastic thing to do. It's the most human thing to do as well. It's certainly a whole lot better than ignoring it and hoping it'll go away, because it never does. The final thing I want to say about conflict is this. Conflict can be incredibly positive. Without conflict, there'd be no innovation, no creativity, no change. We rely on people to challenge the status quo, to challenge current thinking, to improve things. So conflict is not the issue. Conflict is very, very powerful. It can be a very positive force. The real issue, unfortunately, is how you react to conflict.